Yo, what is good, YouTube? Dubs here, back with another video, guys, and we have some more breaking news, notes, highlights, observations from another day here in LA for Raiders, Rams, training camp, joint practice, day one, and I'm going to be covering everything you guys need to know going into their second preseason game of the year. But before we get into that, make sure you guys do me a huge favor and smash the like button just so we can get this video to more Raiders fans. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I will be covering the Raiders and the rest of the NFL for the entirety of the offseason, training camp, preseason, regular season, signings, trades, everything you can think of. I've got you guys covered, and I also will be trying to stream a ton of Raiders games throughout the season as well. So make sure you guys join the family and turn on post notifications. But without any further ado, let's get into the video. And the Raiders have looked really good over the past couple of days of training camp. The opposite would have been said for the past couple of weeks, but over the last couple of days, they're really taking a step in the right direction. And on Wednesdays, or in Wednesday's practice, we had a couple of really big-time news come out, or some big-time news come out in terms of Tyree Wilson absolutely, having a good day, his first day off the NFI list, and he looks pretty damn good. We're also having another breakout rookie for the Raiders DB room, and I'm sure you guys all know Jacorian Bennett has been an absolute stud throughout training camp, and he is a starter right now, and he's going to continue to improve as he continues to get acclimated here in Vegas. But they looked really good on Wednesday. And then on the offensive side of the ball, Davante Adams, it was his day. Yeah, I mean, he was everywhere. I mean, the defense could not find a way to stop him. He was, wreaking havoc throughout the entirety of 7-on-7s, including 11-on-11s. I mean, Davante Adams is that dude. He's that guy, and he's going to continue to be that guy here with Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback. But not only him, Jacoby Myers also had a pretty big day in the passing game as well, getting highly targeted. So that was something good to see, the former New England Patriot wide receiver. And then in the running back room, first preseason game looked like Zamir White was pretty reliable with his carries, pretty productive for the most part. And then another guy who looked pretty good, Sincere McCormick. He looked pretty good. And then during this practice, he had a couple of plays out the backfield that really looked good, including a touchdown grab from, I want to say Brian Hoyer was the quarterback, but he looked pretty good. I think he had 2 total touchdowns in that first preseason game, and he had another one in yesterday's practice. And even the offensive line looked pretty good in one-on-ones. Colton Miller, Greg Van Roten, and Andre James looked very good. Now, the Rams don't have the most talented defensive front besides Aaron Donald in the world, but for the most part, they look pretty good. The Raiders offensive line looked pretty reliable. Now, like I said, first-round draft pick Tyree Wilson got his first day in practice. First time coming off his foot injury since November 12th at Kansas, and he's back. He's progressing. He's looking good, and they're excited to get him onto the field. They're excited to see him in action for the first game, hopefully, or his first game. Don't know when that's going to be, if he's going to be, playing here in the next couple of days. But if he does, I'm truly going to have my eyes on him. I feel like he's a guy that could surprise everybody with his pure talent overall. So he looked pretty good. Max Crosby definitely put a show on for the defense. I mean, we all know how good Max Crosby is, and how good he's going to continue to get over the next couple of weeks here. But he's definitely a guy I want you guys to just be happy about, man. Max Crosby is a different breed of defensive end, edge rusher. I mean, he's just electric, and he's showing that again in camp. Sam Webb is a guy who came down with interception during team periods. Adam Butler and Adam Plant both made big impact plays on the defensive line, so expect those guys to come out here and continue to ramp up their practices. And then for special teams, we had Roderick Teamer look pretty good on special teams on kick return coverage. And then AJ Cole, one of the best punters in all of the NFL right now, looks pretty good as well. But the big news is the Raiders have some really, really good rookies, man. And they look like, for the first time in a while, they're coming out of here with a really good draft class. I mean, Jacorian Bennett seems like he's a day one starter. Tyree Wilson looks pretty good. I'm not going to say really good just because he only practiced one day. And then you have Amari Burney, who actually looks really good during the first preseason game. You have Michael Mayer, who looks to be could potentially be an all-pro tight end at one point of his career. And then you got Aiden O'Connell, who absolutely played amazing football in preseason, game 1 anyway. And then you got Sincere McCormick, the former undrafted free agent last season. They bring in a couple of running backs as well. I mean, I am excited, man. The Raiders finally have, put together a draft class here that we can be, just excited about, man. I mean, I feel like it's been so long since, I've been a Raiders fan. I've saw guys come in and then leave the organization like Henry Ruggs and Damon Arnett and Cleveland Farrell. It's so many talented guys come in and come out of the organization and, not do anything. But we're finally starting to see some guys really look good. And I know it's just training camp. I know it's not even, regular season games yet. But if these guys can continue to build on what they've done so far in the preseason, I am going to be extremely excited for the future of this team. I feel like Josh McDaniels is really trying to, make an impact on this team and make his own little spin on it. And I feel like he's doing the right little things. I mean, the cornerback room, you had Marcus Peters, you signed Marcus Epps, you bring in Jacorian Bennett. That is 3 new starters in the secondary already. And we all know how bad of a secondary the Raiders have been over the last decade or whatnot. I feel like that's really going to take a turn in the right direction. You have Max Crosby, you have Chandler Jones. The linebacker room could use a little bit more work. But overall, I'm just excited for where this team is headed, the right direction. Hit that like button, guys. Subscribe if you're new. Join the family. Turn on post notifications and check out Underdog Fantasy in this next little segment, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. And if you love playing fantasy sports like football, basketball, baseball, and so many other sports, but also love being able to win money, you're going to want to stick around for this whole segment. Introducing Underdog Fantasy, the ultimate platform for fantasy sports lovers. Do you want to experience the thrill of drafting your team and competing for huge prizes? Well, look no further. With Underdog Fantasy, you get access to a wide range of fantasy sports, including football, basketball, baseball, and so much more. But here's what makes Underdog Fantasy stand out from all of those other apps. They've got quick and user-friendly drafting process, a unique and exciting game formats, fair and competitive contests for all skill levels, and attractive bonuses and promotions. Not only can you draft teams and compete with others, but you can also play a game of higher and lower, which is personally my favorite thing to do on there, but you can potentially win 20 times the money you put down. And if you use code MattyDubs when you sign up, Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. And what that means is basically when you deposit, let's say $100, they'll give you a free $100 to use and play with. Click the link in the description to get started, or head to the website right now to start dominating the fantasy world. And don't miss out on all the fun. Be a part of the Underdog community starting now. And don't forget, if you use code MattyDubs, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. Let's get started. Get into drafts with me starting today.